Chapter 11:16 Liu Karen's Thoughts. Zhang Yi returned to the shelter. Jingwei immediately came out of the shadow space, followed by Yang Xinxin. It was so convenient to have Jingwei, a humanoid space. She gave Zhang Yi an additional new skill, Yang Xinxin. Not only can she help him analyze the battle situation during the battle, but she can also use the ability of Angel of Desire to help Zhang Yi win at certain times. The ability of the rule system is a very unsolvable ability. Within its domain, sometimes it can even exert a strength beyond the level. Even an alien like Tianlong Wang who has reached the Epsilon level will be affected. But relatively speaking, if the ability does not meet the triggering conditions, then the rule system ability user will become extremely weak. In short, this is a double-edged sword. The appearance of Jingwei formed a good bond and perfectly solved Yang Xinxin's ability defects. As long as her host is fine, she can always hide in the host's shadow. Zhang Yi focuses on defense and is basically difficult to be killed, so the safety of Jingwei and Yang Xinxin can be absolutely guaranteed. This is simply a perfect closed loop. Everyone in the family gathered and asked Zhang Yi how the battle went. Everything that happened today also shocked them greatly. They had never felt the pressure of the Epsilon-level aliens so closely like today. The power that could trigger a tsunami and flood a city made people deeply afraid. Zhang Yi hugged Zhou Kuer and Yang Xia and smiled gently. It's okay. That guy has been killed by me. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Fatty Su held his fat face and sighed. Fortunately, you are wise and discovered their conspiracy early. Otherwise, I dare not think about what the result would be. Liang Yu and others frowned, and they couldn't be happy after hearing what Fatty Su said. This world is still full of dangers. Especially after Zhang Yi became more and more powerful, the enemies they need to face are also stronger. Of course, this is not to blame Zhang Yi, but to worry about the future. After the end of the world, those weak people can only live a precarious life every day, and many people died in situations that they could not understand at all. At least, they still have a chance to protect themselves. Zhang Yi asked everyone to sit down in the living room, and Yang Xia made hot drinks for everyone. After a night of terror, a cup of hot drink can calm everyone's mood. We still have to strengthen the defense of the shelter in the future. You must not slack off in practicing your supernatural powers in the future. This kind of ability will be wasted if you don't use it. It requires personal deep excavation to develop it to the maximum extent, Zhang Yi said here, glancing at Fatty Su coldly. Especially you, Fatty Su. You are the laziest here. Fatty Su swallowed his saliva and nodded like pounding garlic. Don't worry, boss. I will listen to you and train well. Zhang Yi snorted coldly. Forget it. You are just a 3-minute enthusiasm. In the future, you'll have to let Uncle Yu train you well. Fatty Su was born in the year of the pig, and he must be supervised by someone. Otherwise, he will be lazy in a short time. If you don't work hard in the future and hold everyone back, haha. Zhang Yi sneered, I will send you to the Chaoyu base on the beach and let you step on the generator. Fatty Su was so scared that his face turned pale, and he quickly said, Boss, don't do that. I will definitely work hard and will never hold everyone back. Zhang Yi was not kidding Fatty Su. He is a Delta-level alien after all, and Zhang Yi has spent a certain amount of resources on him. In any case, he is also a good combat force. If he continues to slack off in the future, it would be better to send him to the Chaoyu base to replenish his combat power and exercise well. Yang Xinxin held her chin with one hand, raised one of her calves, and swayed her feet in brown leather shoes. But if we just do this, it won't improve the safety of the shelter much. We can handle the aliens below Epsilon even if you're not here. But we have no power to fight back against those above Epsilon. Zhang Yi rubbed his head. He was still confused about what the Dragon King said before he died. Karan, I'll have to ask you to take care of this matter. We got a lot of weapons and equipment from Blizzard City. You should use all the heavy weapons to arm the shelter as soon as possible. As for defense, the defense of the shelter is already full. I really can't think of how to improve it. Zhang Yi said what was in his heart. When the rich young man Wang Gongzi of Shengjing built this house, he was aiming for the standard of Doomsday Fortress. It is said that as long as it is not a direct shot of H-bullets, it can be blocked. There are materials that are stronger than building materials, such as adamantium. But even the Jiangnan district cannot come up with such a large amount of adamantium to build a huge shelter. At this time, Lu Kuoran hesitated a little, but still slowly said, "Our brother Zhang Yi, I have an idea." Everyone's eyes fell on her, wondering what this genius mechanic wanted to say. "Kuoran, just tell me what you think," Zhang Yi said to Lu Kuoran with an encouraging look and a smile. Lu Kuoran was very encouraged, sat up straight, and said, "In fact, since I absorbed the source spirit that you gave me, I can clearly feel that the power of God-machine control has become stronger." She looked down at her hands. Because she stayed in the studio all day, her hands had already been worn out with thick calluses. These hands are very dexterous and powerful. When I first awakened my ability, I just felt that I could manipulate the structure of matter, make metals twist, analyze the structure of matter, and even melt ordinary materials with my bare hands. But now, I have a clearer and clearer feeling. My microscopic control of matter is becoming more and more precise. It can even reach the structure of molecules. As she said, she seemed to be afraid that everyone would not believe it, and reached out to pick up a water cup from the table. The next moment, everyone saw a very magical scene. The exquisite glass water cup turned into a pile of fine sand-like substances under everyone's eyes, and then scattered all over the coffee table. Zhang Yi had already known this. It was with this ability that she could modify firearms for him without relying on large instruments, and even study the composition structure of genetic drugs in Blizzard City. Lu Karen looked at Zhang Yi and said with a burning gaze, "I have a feeling that if my ability can become stronger, perhaps I can break through to a deeper microscopic field. By then, I will definitely be able to research materials that are stronger than the current building materials." Chapter 11:17 Technology is Power. Zhang Yi's physics grades were not ideal. He only had a vague understanding of what Lu Qian said. Although he could understand some professional terms, he did not understand much. However, he understood one thing. "Karen, you mean if your ability can be improved to a higher level, you can upgrade the building materials of the shelter, make it tougher, and even withstand the impact of the Epsilon-level aliens, right?" Lu Qian was a little unconfident. I can try. Even if it can't withstand the impact of the Epsilon level, there will be no problem upgrading the defense of the shelter." Yang Xinxin understood what Lu Qian said. She stared at Lu Qian with burning eyes. "Karen, you mean if your ability becomes stronger, you may even be able to change the properties of matter?" Lu Qian nodded. "It's not impossible." She clenched her fists excitedly. "If you can do that, then all the problems in this world can be perfectly solved." Zhang Yi understood what Lu Qian meant. He asked, "Are you trying to tell me that you want to try to change the microscopic composition of matter and then redefine the existence of a thing?" So far in the field of science, the smallest particle that can be observed is the quark. The quarks make up protons, and protons, neutrons, and electrons make up atoms. In short, all the basic particles of matter currently known in the world are the same. If a person's ability can reach the microscopic field, theoretically, he can change the properties of a substance at will. In short, it is to turn stone into gold. Lu Karen's ability can now reach the molecular field. Her ambition is to go a step further and try to reach a deeper microscopic field. This idea can be said to be crazy, because once she really achieves it, there will be no shortage of matter in the world. Turning stone into gold and water into gasoline can really be done. There was a light flickering in Zhang Yi's eyes. He was moved by Lu Karen's ambition. Although he didn't understand physics very well, he understood Lu Karen. This is a super genius. Since what she wants to do, Zhang Yi should support it. Science and technology are the primary productive forces at all times. It seems that Lu Karen only knows how to study machinery at home and cannot directly participate in the war. But since she joined the shelter, Zhang Yi has been supporting her behind every battle. Zhang Yi crossed his hands and looked at Lu Karen with trusting eyes. "Karen, since you want to do it, then do it." I will support you unconditionally. I will help you improve your ability index in the shortest time and make your ability stronger. Let all of us see if you can create a miracle. Lu Karen bit her lips excitedly, tears flashing in her eyes. This is a genius idea, or even a madman's idea. If it were in the past, anyone in the scientific community would jump out and insult her for being whimsical. However, now this is a world that cannot be measured by the scientific common sense of the past. An era of great mutation. All the absurd ideas in the past are now possible. Brother, thank you. Lu Karen nodded and said, with some unspeakable emotions in his eyes. Zhang Yi smiled and said, why are you saying thank you to me? Come with me later. I have something good for you. As he was talking, Zhang Yi's communication device suddenly rang. He took it and saw that it was Zhu Zheng who called. Zhang Yi immediately thought that the noise here must have been too loud and attracted the attention of the satellite, so it naturally could not escape Zhu Zheng's eyes. Not to mention Zhu Zheng. I'm afraid that the East China Sea region could feel it. After all, it was a battle between two Epsilon-level people. Zhang Yi glanced at Mu Yan, and Mu Yan immediately closed her mouth in vigilance. Zhang Yi connected the communication. Zhu Zheng on the other end was wearing pajamas and seemed to have just woken up. Zhang Yi, what happened in Tianhai City? Someone just reported that there was a big noise there. Zhu Zheng asked with a smile, did you encounter any trouble? Do you need my help? Zhang Yi took a deep breath and said with a sad face, it's a tsunami. A deep-sea monster suddenly attacked Tianhai City, for some reason. But I have driven it away. Zhang Yi's face was full of confusion, as if he didn't understand why the sea monster would attack Tianhai City. He did not tell Zhu Zheng the truth. There were still many secrets hidden in the Dragon King, and Zhang Yi did not want others to know them for the time being. Otherwise, the people above would definitely be curious about how the Dragon King survived and how he was promoted to Epsilon. If the matter was investigated further, it would bring great trouble to Zhang Yi. Zhu Zheng frowned and asked with an extremely serious expression, could it be related to Qingdao? Zhang Yi nodded, I think so too. There must be some big secret hidden in that place. I just didn't expect it to still haunt me. Push the matter to the Qingdao abyss. Neither Zhu Zheng nor Li Guangxiao could continue to investigate, because that was beyond their capabilities. Zhu Zheng pondered for a moment and said to Zhang Yi, this is indeed a very big trouble. If the coast is not safe, you can move to Blizzard City with your family. Zhang Yi smiled and said, thank you Zhu Shuai for your kindness. We're used to living here and don't want to leave. And with me here, these problems are easy to solve. Zhu Zheng nodded, okay, if you need anything, you can tell the headquarters at any time. You must know that you are the person I focus on training. Zhang Yi nodded with a smile, laughed and dealt with it. As for whether Zhu Zheng believed it or not, he didn't care. Anyway, the Dragon King had been killed by him, and no one else could find out anything. After ending the call, Zhang Yi looked at Mu Yan. Let's go, I should take you back. Mu Yan quietly clenched the cup in her hand. She didn't want to go back. Although it was her first time to come to Zhang Yi's home, this place made her feel very comfortable. There is the warmth of home, unlike the cold and cruel Blizzard City. But she still stood up from the sofa, silently. Your performance this time is good. I will remember it, Zhang Yi said to her, and then opened the dimensional door. Mu Yan nodded. Zhang Yi said again, you are also a captain now. Although your strength is a little lacking, Blizzard City is in need of people at this time, so we will not use you as a target. Next, perform well. If you do something that satisfies me, I can ask Zhu Zheng for someone. Mu Yan's eyes lit up, raised her head and glanced at Zhang Yi, then nodded seriously. Chapter 11 18 Sense of Crisis. Zhang Yi sent Mu Yan back to Blizzard City and then returned to the shelter. The whole process took only a few minutes and did not waste any time. Yang Xinxin took a sip of hot milk and said to Zhang Yi, she is a very good tool person. She can stay. I have to observe her again. Zhang Yi said lightly, not everyone can enter my shelter. Loyalty is always the first principle. Otherwise, a lazy guy like Fatty Su would have been driven out by Zhang Yi long ago. Yang Xinxin smiled and said, this is very difficult to test. People who have experienced life and death in the end of the world are particularly good at disguise. Zhang Yi shrugged and said, "It doesn't matter. I can ask her to come and help me whenever I need her." He took a sip of coffee with a smile on his face. "She knows very well that only by holding on to my thigh can she survive. Otherwise, she will sooner or later become Zhu Yu's nourishment." After the talk, Yang Xinxin and Zhou Ke were responsible for notifying the three major bases, especially the Chaoyu base, that the disaster was over, and arranged people to reorganize the coastal defense line. After the tsunami, many ships were destroyed. The other two major bases need to allocate manpower and materials to support. Zhang Yi brought Lu Keran to her studio. "Keran, I will help you improve your strength now," Zhang Yi said. The source spirits and alien origins on his body have been used up. So now there is only one kind of origin that can be given to Lu Keran, the body of the Dragon King. Zhang Yi took out the body of the Dragon King. Lu Keran looked at him in astonishment and said, "Brother, isn't this the Dragon King?" Zhang Yi nodded. "Try it, absorb as much as you can." "For me?" Lu Keran pointed at his face and asked in disbelief. Zhang Yi nodded. "For me now, absorbing the Dragon King's origin will only improve it to a limited extent. And now my strength is enough, so I'm not in a hurry to improve it. But your strength is very important to me. I want you to become stronger quickly. This is like adding points to your talent. The origin of the Dragon King is stronger than the soul lost, but it can only increase Zhang Yi's ability index by more than 1,000 points. But according to the situation of the entire shelter, his strength is far beyond that of others. According to the theory of the barrel effect, he needs to fill in other aspects. The shelter is not stable enough, and he always feels uneasy. And the stronger Lu Keran is, the more powerful weapons she can create for Zhang Yi. This is a combat power indicator that is not reflected in the ability index. Zhang Yi put his hands on Lu Keran's shoulders and encouraged her. "Brother believes that you have great potential. Don't be afraid. Come and try it." Lu Keran was deeply moved. She didn't expect that Zhang Yi would be willing to give her such a precious origin. This is something that everyone in the world dreams of getting. Even an Epsilon-level alien is willing to pay a huge price for it. But Zhang Yi gave it to her without hesitation. "Yeah." Lu Keran nodded vigorously, then took a deep breath and walked to the body of the Dragon King. Zhang Yi stood by and watched to avoid accidents. Now, after his cramming, Lu Keran's ability has reached about 7,000 points. I wonder if there will be any accidents when she absorbs the Epsilon-level origin. Lu Keran put her hand on the head of the Dragon King. Soon, a huge amount of energy poured into her body, rapidly strengthening her own strength, and began to change her life essence like the I Ching marrow cleansing. Epsilon, a mutant of this realm, has already undergone a leap in life level. The origin power in their bodies is the most precious evolutionary medicine for lower-level aliens. Lu Keran felt as if there was a flame burning in her body, and her face turned blue and red. After just a few seconds, a look of pain appeared on her face. "Brother, I..." She couldn't even speak. Zhang Yi immediately took action, cut off her connection with the body of the Dragon King, and then collected the body of the Dragon King. Lu Keran couldn't bear this huge energy, and she actually collapsed on the ground, holding her chest, gasping for breath. Her skin turned red, and every pore was emitting white heat. Sweat soaked her whole body. "Keran, how is it? Do you want me to call Ku-Air-Overs?" Zhang Yi asked hurriedly. Lu Keran turned his head and looked at Zhang Yi. Although his expression was a little tired, his eyes were extremely bright. "It's okay, brother. I feel full of strength now. But this power is too huge. I need to digest it well." Zhang Yi still underestimated the origin of Epsilon. Judging from Lu Keran's talent and strength, it is impossible for her to fully absorb this majestic energy. But just absorbing a part of it can greatly improve her ability. Zhang Yi frowned and said, "I was careless and didn't consider the situation." He stretched out his hand and picked up Lu Keran's body and lifted her up from the ground. "Let me take you back to your room to rest." Lu Koran was carried by a man like a princess for the first time in her life, and the blush on her face seemed to be even stronger. Fortunately, her skin was red at this time, so it couldn't be seen.
Yeah.
She nodded weakly, but her hands couldn't help but wrap around Zhang Yi's neck. Zhang Yi held Lu Kuran and sent her back to the room. Then he called Zhou Kuer to check Lu Kuran's body. After Zhou Kuer came over, she helped Lu Kuran check it carefully and then smiled and said to the two of them, "Don't worry, her physical condition is very good. All the indicators are very good. Maybe she has overdosed it and needs to rest for a while." Zhang Yi said to Lu Kuran, "These few days, you should concentrate on digesting this power and don't think about other things." Lu Kuran nodded obediently. She closed her eyes and slowly felt that as her superpowers became stronger, her body had undergone some obvious changes. It seemed that she could see her blood running in her blood vessels, and the red blood cells were like bright red persimmons, surging violently in the plasma. It was late at night, and Zhang Yi was already a little tired after a big battle. Physical fatigue was nothing, but the pressure brought to him by the Dragon King was not small. The aliens in the Ypsilon realm were indeed difficult to kill. Under the condition that his superpower index was absolutely ahead of the Dragon King, he had to use the abilities of Mu Yan and Yang Xinxin and only killed the Dragon King when he was determined to die. It can be seen how terrifying the aliens or beasts in this realm are. And without his protection, how fragile the three major bases and shelters in Tianhai City would be. Zhang Yi washed his body with hot water, and he murmured, "I must strengthen the power around me." Chapter 11-19 Turning Stone into Gold. That night, after Zhou Kuer's hard work, Zhang Yi's inner fatigue was relieved, and he was completely relaxed. However, he did not forget what the Dragon King said before his death. Star Island, Fog Valley, Abyss, Black-Armored Monster. These words lingered in his mind, and would not dissipate for a long time. Waves of noisy whispers sounded in his ears, as if they were a kind of chaotic murmur. Now, he can only constantly improve his strength and enhance the defense capabilities of the shelter to ensure that he and his partners will not suffer disasters in the end of the world. People always need a harbor. The body is second, and the mind is the most important. Now Zhang Yi has become accustomed to the feeling of having his family by his side. He can't imagine what kind of pain he will experience after losing these family members. So, from the next day, he strengthened the supervision of his partners in the shelter. Everyone must exercise and try their best to familiarize themselves with and improve their abilities. And Zhang Yi himself also absorbed the remaining origin of the Dragon King. Lu Karen didn't absorb much at all. In fact, most of it was absorbed by Zhang Yi. According to his budget, when he completely absorbs the power of the Dragon King and then transforms it into his own strength, he will be on par with Xuanwu and reach a supernatural power index of 15,000 points. On the Chaoyu base side, with the help of the Yangxing base and the Qingpu base, it is also being rebuilt rapidly. Today, the Chaoyu base has formed a pattern of 3 giants. The leader of the base is Lu Dehai, who was appointed by Zhang Yi himself. The second in command of the base is the think tank Qinjingguan, who seems to have always been very suitable to be the second in command. Zhang Yi once jokingly called him a dog-headed military advisor. The third in command is Gao Tianwu, and the organization he led, Wu Men, has gained a firm foothold in the Chaoyu base. In the end times, as long as a person has strong enough abilities, he will get a chance to come forward sooner or later. Gao Tianwu's ability level is also Delta, and according to Zhang Yi's observation, his potential level may even exceed Lu Dehai. So Zhang Yi placed him in the Chaoyu base for temporary training. If the conditions are right in the future, Zhang Yi even plans to build a 4th base on the coastal border. Only when the 2 coastal defense bases coexist can the safety of the coastline be guaranteed. And at this time, Zhang Yi welcomed his biggest surprise in recent times. His investment in Lu Kuran has paid off greatly. The original power of the Ypsilon level completely opened up Lu Kuran's talent. She rested at home for a full half-month before she completely digested the power. On this day, she ran to Zhang excitedly and stretched out her tightly clenched right hand to him. When the fist was opened, A piece of deformed gold appeared in her palm. What is this? Lu Kuoran smiled and said, It's toilet paper. Brother, I can now change the structure of matter. Although it can only change a little bit, it is enough to apply it to strengthen the defense of the shelter. Zhang Yi took the gold from her palm and took a closer look. Isn't it the shape of a piece of toilet paper? Zhang Yi exclaimed, turning stone into gold. This ability that only exists in myths and legends has actually appeared. Zhang Yi was very happy in his heart. Lu Kuoran's ability was improved too timely, just when he needed it most. What are you going to do? Zhang Yi asked Lu Kuoran happily. Lu Kuoran told Zhang Yi about his plan. Changing the properties of matter requires huge energy to break the original structure between particles. It is not an easy thing to do. But if you just change the state and density of the material particles to change its properties, it will be very simple. Lu Kuoran's current ability can upgrade and transform the shelter without destroying its original structure, adding other substances to increase its strength. If one day, the entire shelter can be transformed into a material that surpasses adamantium, then even an Epsilon-level alien will not be able to easily break the shelter's defense. Lu Kuoran said excitedly, I already have a plan for this project. Although it will progress slowly, give me half a year, and I can strengthen the outer wall of the entire shelter. Zhang Yi was struck by lightning when he heard this. After the end of the world, he rarely regretted his decisions. But this time, he really regretted it. If I had left the source of God for you to use, it would have been great. Zhang Yi covered his forehead and said from the bottom of his heart, Science and technology are the primary productive forces. He really learned all the knowledge from the history textbooks. Maybe after the end of the world, the appearance of aliens made him despise the traditional military power and technology. He only thought that Huahua was the main combat force, so he gave priority to strengthening it. If I had known earlier, I would have chosen you to use the source of God. Maybe you would have led us to the moon. Lu Karen scratched his head embarrassedly. Actually, it's not impossible. For Lu Kuoran, the ability to manipulate the divine machine has made her a human-shaped super factory. As long as the materials are sufficient, there is nothing she can't make. Brother, give it to me. Lu Kuoran suddenly stretched out his hand to Zhang Yi. What? Zhang Yi asked. Your gun. Oh, and the batch of bullets I gave you before. Bring them all over. I'll help you reprocess them. I guarantee that the output efficiency will be improved. Lu Kuoran came close to Zhang Yi and whispered in his ear, and the light armor I said I would build before is almost done now. Zhang Yi's eyes lit up quickly. Okay, Kuoran, brother really likes you more and more. Lu Kuoran blushed, pursed her lips, and didn't say anything, just put her hands behind her, and the little hands that were tangled together revealed her inner emotions. Brother Zhang Yi is the best. Zhang Yi handed all the things to Lu Kuoran and asked her to help rebuild them. After Lu Kuoran left, Zhang Yi was still sighing. Sure enough, building a technology tree is the most useful in the late stage. This little girl is a typical late-stage hero. After all, Zhang Yi has reached his current level, and it is increasingly difficult to improve further. However, one can learn from others and use the power of science and technology to greatly improve his overall strength. After a sleepless night, Lu Karen finally completed the new upgrade of Zhang Yi's weapons and equipment. When she handed the weapons and ammunition to Zhang Yi, although she looked tired, she couldn't suppress the excitement on her face. Nothing can make a mechanic more excited than achieving a major breakthrough in technology. Chapter 11:20 Team Upgrade. Zhang Yi took the remodeled weapon from Lu Karen and found that the weapon in his hand was much lighter. The sniper thunderbolt, weighing more than 10 kilograms, was at least one-third lighter at this time. He knew his old friend inside and out and felt it as soon as he got it in his hand. How did you do this? Zhang Yi asked in surprise. Lu Karen gathered his short hair and said proudly, adamantium was known as the toughest metal material before the end of the world. But it doesn't mean that it will still be after the end of the world. I reorganized the molecular structure based on it and added new solidifying materials. Make it lighter and tougher. Now it is 30% lighter, but the toughness has increased by a full double. So, brother, even if your strength becomes twice as strong in the future, you don't need to worry about the weapon not being able to keep up with your strength increase. Zhang Yi's eyes lit up completely. This is great news for him. As everyone knows, as a space-based alien, close combat ability has always been Zhang Yi's shortcoming. Although long-term training has made his physical fitness no less than that of a soldier. But it is not so easy for him to fight with a sniper weighing more than 10 kilograms for a long time. After all, most of the time, he needs to hold this thing to fight with others. The same is true for the compound bow and the horizontal sword in his hand. The lighter they are and the higher their toughness, the more suitable it is for Zhang Yi to exert his strength. Great, Karan. You are really great. Zhang Yi was delighted. If Lu Kuoran could not bear too much energy in a short time, he could even give her the origin of the entire Tianlong King to let her improve her ability level. Among all the people in the shelter, Lu Kuoran's ability is actually the fastest. Because as a mechanic, she always needs to use her own abilities. Lu Kuoran's face flushed slightly, and her heart was full of joy. Being recognized by Zhang Yi is the happiest thing for her. I want to name this new material after you, brother. Let's call it E-metal. What do you think, brothers? Lu Kuoran's little face was full of expectations. How could Zhang Yi refuse the girl's kindness? He smiled and said, I was thinking that it would be better to call it Lu. But this is the material you researched, so I'll follow your opinion. However, if your ability continues to improve, you can get more powerful materials, right? Lu Karen blinked. Theoretically, that's right. She clasped her hands together and said expectantly, just like you, brother, now that you are the son of Ipsilon, you have the power like the gods in myths and legends. If I can be like you one day, maybe I can really achieve mechanical ascension. Various science fiction scenes emerged in Zhang Yi and Lu Karen's minds, and they couldn't help but yearn for it. There will definitely be this day. Zhang Yi looked into Lu Karen's eyes and said very seriously, one day, brother will find a source of God for you. Let your ability make a qualitative leap. Lu Karen clenched his fists excitedly. Well, Karen believes in brother. After a night of hard work, Lu Karen was very tired. She returned to her room and fell asleep. Zhang Yi could see that this method of changing the structure of material particles consumes a lot of energy. It will be a huge project to let Lu Karen transform the entire shelter in the future. But Zhang Yi is not short of time. He was extremely fortunate that he brought back young Xinxin and Lu Karen when he went to Tianqing College. These two girls are simply his treasure girls. In the following time, Tianhai City spent his days in comfort. Zhang Yi rarely received news from Blizzard City, because now the meaning of his existence has changed. He is the foundation of Jiangnan District, just like Xuanwu in Donghai District. There are many things in Jiangnan District, and there are often new accidents, which require the dispatch of investigation teams to crusade. But Zhang Yi doesn't need to worry about these. And the world is changing quietly every day. New aliens are still appearing, and geniuses are like stars, which will always appear in the starry sky after the dark clouds. After Lu Dahai, mutants began to appear one after another. They no longer need to be stimulated by external objects to mutate, and there are even many active mutants. Zhou Qir's explanation for this is that it is affected by gamma rays, which causes human genes to mutate. This process is fast or slow. Early people need external stimulation to awaken. But as time goes by, people with higher mutation levels will reach the critical point and will awaken on their own initiative. Zhang Yi calls this the Great Mutation Era. While others are making progress, Zhang Yi is not idle either. He has been training all the time. Now he has completely absorbed the essence of the Dragon King, and his ability index has reached 15,000 points. If he meets Cardiels again at this time dash, he would no longer be able to dodge like before. In a head-on battle, as long as it was not at sea, he might even kill Cardiers. However, no one knew all this except him and his most trusted companions in the shelter. No one would know that he absorbed the essence of an Ipsilon on that stormy night. Under Zhang Yi's urging, The families in the shelter are also constantly improving their strength. With the fragments of the Source of God and the Source Elves, as well as the blessing of some alien essences on the island, everyone's superpowers have been greatly improved in a short period of time. Zhou Ke's superpower index has reached 7,000 points now, and she can even use superpowers to strengthen cell activity. If a person's hands and feet are cut off, she can help the other party regenerate cells and repair them. Fatty Sue is a bit lame, with a superpower index of only 6,800 points. But according to Zhang Yi, his superpowers are not weak, and if he plays well, he can reach a strength of about 7,500 points. But his combat awareness is still very poor, and his playing style is very wretched, so the comprehensive ability index must be lowered. Uncle Yu is much stronger than him. As a person in the shelter, his talent is only stronger than Zhou Haimei, and his ability index has reached 7,100 points. Uncle Yu is a reinforcement-type mutant. His ability is nothing special. His talent is not high. Without the help of the fragments of the Source of God, he can only stay at the Gamma level. At least. Now, his strength is more than 10 times stronger than before. In the daily work of the shelter, it can play a very good role. And Yang Xia, as a food mutant, has an ability index of an astonishing 7,600 points. Her ability is to inject superpowers into food, and then use it as military rations. Because she likes cooking, she will practice extra hard and seriously during the cooking process every day, resulting in her ability index being higher than Zhou Ke. This is a great thing for Zhang Yi. Because so far, there are only two ways for him to restore his superpowers: injecting energy potions and eating. Obviously, he prefers the latter. Because the production of energy potions is very troublesome and the loss is relatively large, not to mention that he has to insert needles into his body. Dear viewers, stay tuned for more videos. Please subscribe if not already. Thanks.